This is 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast episode 172, the best Feng Shui bedroom colors. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Hello, my Feng Shui friend. We are here today talking about bedroom colors. You know, this is one of the things I get asked a lot on my website, in my emails, in my Feng Shui group. There's always a question about what color is the best color for a bedroom. And so I thought that might be a good topic to talk about and to go into colors and what they mean and what they can do for you and how it affects you in your bedroom. Because, well, you know, colors do have wavelengths of light, and those wavelengths have an influence on us. I think about the famous sheriff in, is it Maricopa County in Arizona, I believe, who painted all the cell colors in a jail pink and made the inmates, I think he even had to wear pink jumpsuits. And it was funny because they didn't like it, and it caused them to be a little bit more relaxed. And this was a really interesting kind of experiment, how color as a deterrent, but it's also, really makes a difference to us in terms of the way we respond. I'll never forget hearing about a client whose son had some developmental delays and some hyperactivity, and she decided that using color was one of the best ways to help him. And so what she did was she painted each wall of his bedroom a primary color. So one wall was bright yellow, one wall was bright red, one wall was bright blue, the other one was green. So each wall was a different color. Well, can you imagine what happened to that poor child? Well, he just went bonkers, and he had more problems than ever being able to focus and pay attention in school. I felt so sorry for him. And I said, that boy needs a good coat of beige, good old beige. Because, beige is one of those colors that's related to earth and is also considered to be a meditative energy. So if you think about earth qualities, earth is the stillness. And when we are still, we think, right? We meditate. We can get our thoughts together. But if you can imagine that poor kid trying to rest and trying to relax and trying to be able to focus, and he's got all these wild colors, 8-foot tall, walls, just ping-ponging around in his head. Needless to say, he got a big room full of beige, and it made a big difference for him. And, the mom, hey, she was trying to do the right thing. She was trying to give him more influence, thinking that, each color had a different vibration, and each one of those colors would give him something else that he was missing. But actually what he was missing was calm. And that's very interesting, because one of the things that I did very early on when my son had heart surgery and he was in the 1st grade, his teacher came over and personally worked on his schoolwork with him and came to our house once a week and after schools. And the thing that was wonderful is not just the personal attention, but that, he didn't have to stay back from school, and he stayed steady and caught up on all of his schoolwork. So that, it's tough enough having that kind of surgery. And then when you maybe have to fall back a grade or you aren't able to keep up, then that adds another thing to it. But one of the things that I had always said to her was that I would redo her classroom if she ever needed help with it. I would love to feng shui her classroom and help her out with it. Well, what was interesting is when I submitted the plan for her classroom, the design plan of what we were going to do, she looked shocked because I was doing colors of beige and dark brown and forest green and light green. And I took away all all that multicolor sort of color. The riot, a visual riot of color in the classroom. I think some color is really wonderful. But one of the things that she had talked about, she was a first grade teacher, and she said, 30 years of teaching first grade, there was always crying that went on, when the kids got to school, especially the first day, lots of crying. And what I did was I created a really calm, serene, natural environment to make it very relaxing and very natural, feeling like they were in a forest. And that was what we, in fact, called it, was the Learning Rainforest. That was the title of the design. And I ended up putting canopies over the ceiling, green canopies like a tree. And we had, the cabinets were painted brown, and it had lots of vines and just really natural, pretty flowers in the corners. And what was interesting, she said, because this was happening in August, I think, when we did it, because she said she got the instruction that she was going to have to move classrooms. She'd been in this classroom for 20-something years, something like that. At any rate, so you can imagine to be in a room for 20-something years and then have to start over. Well, this was the perfect time to do it, but we were having to do it against a pressure of time of the kids coming into school. And yes, I am going to talk about your bedroom. Anyhow, what ended up happening, though, was just a few short weeks later, we did a miracle makeover. It was wonderful. And that she called me and told me on the first day of school there were no kids who cried. They were so excited to be in the learning rainforest and to look at the vines and look at the butterflies and see the reading nook that we had created, a little quiet space that was a reward for them, and the trees that were in there. She said they had the best behavior of any class she's ever had. Nobody was crying. And it was a place that everyone in the school district would, whenever there was VIPs that came in and toured the school or just came to the school district, that they would take her to her room as a study of how forward thinking they were in terms of the design and decorating and that kind of thing, and what a difference it made for those kids. But this is my point, is that your environment directly impacts you. And there's no more important environment, obviously, as you might imagine, that I think is for kids and in the classroom. And the point of that is that kids have enough energy thrown at them all the time, enough distraction, enough blinking lights and buzzing and all these things that are constantly vying for their attention, that my feeling was, instead of having a classroom that was typical with all the bright colors and the primary colors and all that riot of color, let's calm them down, because they're always, agitated and up and like I was saying, everything's dinging and gonging and flashing and colors are going, and all the images that we see, and that kids see on TV and cell phones and tablets and computers, that I felt like what we need is to be able to allow them to focus and allow them to be able to learn, and that by being calm that they can do that. So this relates to your bedroom, because when you are calmer in your bedroom, you're going to be more relaxed, you're going to sleep better, you're going to be able to wind down, your relationship will flourish. This is all part of the influence that color can have on you, especially in your bedroom. This is the second most important area of your home, besides your front door in Feng Shui, is your bedroom. Because this is where you are under an influence of whatever is going on, because you're asleep most of the time when you're in your bedroom, right? And that makes you vulnerable. It makes you vulnerable to the energies that are around in the room, whatever that is. So if you see images that maybe are sad or that are too bright or too busy, or if you have colors that are too bright or too loud, that kind of thing, it has an influence on you. It has an influence on your relationship. It has an influence on your day-to-day, because I will tell you, I speak from experience. If I don't have a good night, it's tough to have a good day. And then when you don't have a good night a lot, it means that life starts working against you. So let's talk about colors and how important they are, and what are the best ways to select a color for your bedroom, because that room is where it all happens. It enables you, it sets the course for your everyday. Your every night sets the course for your everyday. So it's so important to have that bedroom really supporting you in the best way possible and supporting your relationship too. So as I said, this is one of the most common questions that I get about bedroom and feng shui and what is the color that I should choose for my bedroom. And I will tell you one thing, when it comes to choosing colors, you always want to choose colors that are maybe relaxing. Maybe they're soft or muted, something that's easy on your eyes. Remember that poor kid with the four primary colors. That's always preferable to a really bright or energized color like a crimson red or that primary blue color. We want to think about the restful quality of the colors when you're trying to choose either wall coloring or bedding. So for instance, let's take an example. So if Kelly green, that very bright green in that one kid's room, if Kelly green is one of your favorite shades, and it is mine, choose a light version of this color on the paint color strip. Those are called chips, paint chips, but they should be called paint strips, but okay. Anyway, but the lighter version, if you take a paint strip that has Kelly green on one end, it'll have like a pale mint on the other. So that's how you would choose it. You can still choose that color that you like, but let's just take it down a notch. Just turn the volume down so that you get the lighter tone of that shade. That really can help you when you're thinking about what color should I choose. Now let's talk about another color that's really important, and that really is the Feng Shui beige. These are colors that will always work in just about whatever room corner you're in. And those are skin tone colors. Skin tone colors are the colors that, well, we're in our skin in, right? We're comfortable with them. And so they make a really good choice for a color in a bedroom in any direction, really. These colors represent pretty much like a feng shui neutral that works in, like I was saying, it's just about in any corner. So whether that's the southwest or the north or the south, whatever color it is. Now let's think about, what colors do skin tones come in? Well, they come in from very pale white and ivory, pink or rose, yellow, tan, and dark brown colors. You can balance all those tones with white though. But for romance, skin tone shades, especially those with a little rosy tone, are very appealing and sensual. So if you are undecided about what color to choose and you have your relationship in mind, think about a skin tone color. And you can use those in any kind of combinations. In fact, I think tan with a pretty pink or mauve color is beautiful together. It's very relaxing. And those tan colors, well, what are we thinking about? That's the neutral phase that we went through, that big decorating phase of neutrals. And it's never going to go away because it's very restful, very calm and relaxing. And we need that. We need calm and relaxing, don't we? Now, one of the things I do want to suggest is that you watch for oversaturation of color. Now, color's a wonderful thing, just like those primary colors that we were talking about, but it can be overwhelming. Like if you have all four walls and your ceiling painted blue, it's just too much, right? It's just too much. It doesn't mean that you can't have a navy blue bedroom. If that's the kind of color that you like, you can, but it's really important to balance any deep or bright shade with plenty of light colors like cream or ivory or white. This is really important. So just watch that you don't get too bogged down in a color. We want the color to support us, and we don't have to feel like we're working to be in that room. We want to feel like the room is working for us. And I say that because there's sometimes if you're in a room and it's a really bright color, it's wearing. And that's not good if you're in a bedroom trying to rest or trying to have a relationship, for instance. Now let's talk about the ceilings, because this is an important one. And I know we're talking about wall colors, but the ceiling is the fifth wall, and it's always important that is painted white. It can be tempting to paint the ceiling your wall color, but even if your wall color is white or ivory or cream, I'd still recommend that you paint the ceiling white. This is the color of heaven, and it also helps to kind of lift the energy of the room, particularly if the walls are bright or a very dark color, like that navy bedroom that we were talking about. Now, what colors are best for love? Well, besides the skin tones of like beige and ivory, tan, and brown, are there colors that are helpful for love? Yes, there's two. The first is a pink tone. Now, this pink can not only create warm feelings, but it can also help attract love. So if you've been single too long, this is a color to consider for your bedroom. Pink is a very attracting kind of color, and it has that tenderness. If you think of red roses, a lot of people associate romance with red roses. Well, that's like a deep, committed love. But what we're looking for is that tender, caring kind of love, and that color is pink. So all it is just like we were talking about that Kelly green that goes down to mint, pink or rose are just a toned down version of red. So those are always good colors for love, and beautiful on the skin tone as well. There's not a skin tone that doesn't sort of respond to pink colors. Now, if you're seriously, chronically single and you are ready to do anything, and you're about done with all that singleness and all those frozen dinners, well, then it's time to use the second color of romance, and that color is peach. Now, this one is only to be used if you're really ready to attract a new love to your life, and if it's been tough going, this is the color that's helpful for drawing a new love interest. Now, peach is a color that is known to attract admirers, but it's best to use only if you're really seriously ready to date and get serious. So once you find your object of affection, though, repaint your bedroom to a new shade. You know, I like tan. or maybe a rose shade would be good, because it keeps that tenderness and that attraction going without drawing so many people. Now, peach, though, is a color that can sometimes draw those admirers who are just out for a good time. There's an aspect about peach that is just for, the sexual aspect of it. And that's why it's important that when you paint your bedroom, you're diligent in love, and you make sure that your admirer is interested in you and not just a random fling. So if you're considering trying out peach, start by just painting one wall behind your bed first to see what happens, or you can always, put in peach bedding or throw pillows, that kind of thing. Of course, you have to do your part too, like mixing and mingling, checking dating apps, asking friends and families for introductions, that kind of thing. And if suitors don't show up, go on and paint the rest of the bedroom with peach paint. Now, if you're already partnered, I would advise against using peach color, because this is akin to creating interest outside the relationship, and we don't want to encourage anything that's going to encourage wandering. So that is the skinny and the lowdown on peach and pink paint. Obviously, I like pink best, and that's something that you can try if you're single, is painting your bedroom a pretty mauve or rose color. And if that ain't getting the job done, then go on out and get yourself a can of peach paint and give it a shot, and maybe add a few peach accent items to your bedroom, and then see what happens. I would love to hear from you. So if you do use that, please let me know how it goes. Now, the other option that you can use is to select colors based on the corner where your bedroom is located. Now, this is one I like the best, and this is because it's just another option to use in your Feng Shui color box, is that you're using the direction that's associated with your bedroom. So, for instance, if your bedroom's in the southwest corner, then you're going to be using colors that are related to the southwest corner or that support the south corner. So let's talk about some of those. Now, when you select a harmonized or supportive color, your bedroom is going to be working with the Feng Shui energy that is naturally there, energetically there. And this helps to create a more supportive and healthful environment for you. It's also better for your relationship because your bedroom's not working against the energy. Now, of course, you can always go and paint any bedroom beige or white, and you're going to be fine, or tan or white. That you're always going to be fine there. So, if you want to do that, that's always your option. But let's go and talk about the corners that you can, and the colors that are associated with those corners. So if your bedroom is located in the north corner of your house, this is the color that is associated with water. So because that's the north is the water corner, and the harmonized colors are like black, blue, turquoise, lavender, and purple. Now, you probably don't want to have black walls. Although I did see a bathroom one time that had this beautiful black wallpaper, and I've been thinking about it for my own bathroom, actually. But, maybe you do just, some small accessories, or maybe you just do a small area where you maybe have some wallpaper or something, a small pattern that's in black, but just make sure that you have lots and lots of white, accent and trim, that kind of thing. And that will help keep that black from getting just too sinking. But it's actually a really nice color. I know I stayed at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas, and I remember the hallways were black with white woodwork, and it did not feel dark or like a tunnel at all. It was beautiful. But any color of water, so black, blue, turquoise, lavender, and purple. Now, supportive colors. These are the colors that make the water. So this is colors of metal. So that can be white, or gray, or gold, or silver. Now, if you look on my website on about this article, you'll see a bedroom that is really harmonized well for the west and northwest, but it's also good for the north because it's all in gray tones. So gray is also a color that, because it's a metal tone, it supports and creates the water energy. Now, let's talk about the colors you don't want to use in the north, and that is an all-out brown. Really not the best color because it represents wood. And what do we do with plants? We water them. So wood soaks up the water energy, and that's not what we want to do. So brown, really big, deep beige. Yellow is another color. Green, terracotta. We don't want to use those earth colors. We don't want to use wood colors. So stick with the metal, stick with the water colors, and you're going to be just fine. Now let's talk about the northeast, center, and southwest. These are our earth corners. These are the corners that relate to earth elements, like, earth and stone. Now, harmonized colors with these three corners include yellow, ochre, tan, taupe, and purple and lavender. You can use purple and lavender. Purple is what I always say, and I know everybody's out there in podcast world going, the Feng Shui beige. And it is the Feng Shui beige. And so, it is one of those colors that you can use perfectly well with the northeast, the center, and the southwest. Now, supportive colors are fire related. So this can be a terracotta, a red, pink, burgundy, or orange. Terracotta just depends on the depth of it. Sometimes it looks a little bit more red. That can go more fire, and sometimes a little bit more orange, and that I would call that an earth color. Now let's talk about defeating colors. These are the colors that draw energy from the earth. So you don't want to decorate your bedroom in these colors, which is gray, white, green, brown, gold, or silver. Those are the colors we want to avoid in those corners. Let's talk about the east and southeast. Now, these are the colors of health and wealth and growth, and they are wood sectors. So the harmonized colors are going to be brown and green. Supportive colors, just think about that. What do we do with wood? We water it, right? Like plants. So supportive colors are going to be all blue colors, anything that's water element. So that's black color, blue, turquoise, lavender, purple. The defeating colors, the colors that hurt the east and southeast wood element, this would be red, gray, and white. Now, those are colors that we want to avoid in the southeast. Why? Because red is like fire and it burns up wood, right? And then gray and white represent metal, and metal cuts wood. So that's why we want to avoid those colors. So brown and green are your colors in the east and southeast, or any of the colors along with water element. Now let's talk about the west and northwest, our last two sectors. Now, harmonized colors. This is because these colors are the colors of metal. West and northwest are the metal element. So harmonized colors are going to be metal colors like white, gray, gold, or silver. Supportive colors are going to be earth colors. Why? Because we get metal out of the earth. So any color that's related to earth element, like tan, ivory, yellow, taupe, ochre, plum, purple, lavender, those are all going to work just beautifully in the west and northwest. The colors that we don't want to have in that corner and that are defeating in that corner are blue, because water exhausts the metal element, and red, fire. Well, how do we make metal objects? We melt them. So fire is not what we want to use. So we don't want to have any red colors in our metal corners. All right, so there's the kind of the rundown of colors for each of the corners and what you need to know about them. Now let's talk about when you're trying to decide. I really think that you're going to feel so much better and more supported, and it's going to have that feeling for you when you paint your bedroom with a color that's either a harmonized or supportive color. You're going to feel you're going to feel in alignment because you're helping to create harmony in that corner of your home. And it supports your health and your well-being because that color and the elements are in alignment. Now, the reverse is also true, and this is why you should avoid those defeating colors. For example, a southwest bedroom should not be painted green because the wood color of green will defeat the southwest corner's earth energy. And when you sleep, you're at your most vulnerable to those energies around you. So when a bedroom doesn't have colors that are in alignment, you may find that difficulties befall you. Maybe you don't even sleep well. Maybe you notice that your income suffers or that you don't rest well. You can develop health problems too. Or maybe your relationship is strained and difficult. So to ensure that you get that refreshing sleep and that recharged relationship, or maybe to attract one and protect your health and wealth too, you want to choose the right color. Remember that harmonized or supportive color is always going to do you better. And it helps you and your home work together harmoniously with the energies of your bedroom for better rest and better support in life. This is a key area. So let me recap. Don't overlook it. It's easy to kind of paint our public rooms and pay more attention to them than we do to our own bedroom. But I want to highly encourage you, if you haven't really spent much time decorating or spending time really thinking about your bedroom and the colors that you have in there, I encourage you to do that because it's the place where you come back and regroup and where your body recharges every day and where your relationship is. That's the bedroom is also a symbol of your relationship, or maybe sometimes not relationship, right? All right, well, let's talk about the top 3 tips I want to give you today. Number 1, when trying to choose a color, try to choose the color that is harmonious or supportive for the corner that your bedroom is in. Tip number 2, keep ceilings painted white. It's really the best thing to do when it comes to painting your room. Avoid at all costs any kind of blue ceilings. It's really better just to have a nice white ceiling because it lifts the energy. And then lastly, think about colors for love. If you're single and you really would like to attract new love, paint your room pink. It doesn't have to be bubblegum pink. It can be a sophisticated pink. It could be a rosy or a mauve-y kind of pink. It doesn't have to be, like I said, Barbie or bubblegum pink, Pepto-Bismol, something like that. You don't have to do that. But, think about those tender romantic shades and add that. Maybe pink sheets. You just try with pink sheets, and that's great whether you are single or in a relationship. And then you can add some other pink items to your bedroom, or maybe paint the wall behind your bed a pretty rosy tone. It'll make you feel better and get in touch with those tender feelings, and may just be the thing that helps you attract a new admirer. All right, then. Well, this episode sure went fast for me. I hope it went fast for you. In the meantime, I want to encourage you to beautify your bedroom and make it harmonious. And thank you so much for listening. As always, I so appreciate you. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you on the next episode of 5 Minute Feng Shui. Hey, thanks for listening today. Although the year of the tiger is here, it's come in with a roar, and there's going to be some big ups and downs this year, like the invasion in Ukraine. But I wrote about Putin and some of the other world leaders in the Year of the Tiger Feng Shui Forecast and Success Pack. Now, back in 2021, when I was writing this in the fall, I could see this on the horizon and I warned about it. There's other things that you're going to want to know too, like where to invest your money, where to find love, and what to expect all year. And I cover all houses and bedroom directions and every zodiac sign. The Success Pack will help you be ready for the year, be prepared, make more money, and keep fortune on your side. Check out the Year of the Tiger Feng Shui Forecast at redlotusletter.com/water tiger, all one word.